Some of the legacy automakers have suggested that they consider car buyers to fall into two categories: regular car buyers and electric car buyers. This idea is one of the main reasons that sales of their EVs have been disappointing. Tesla has never subscribed to any such self-sabotaging view of the market. From the very beginning, Elon Musk and his disciples understood that, for an EV to have a chance in the market, it wouldn't just need to be as good as a gas vehicle, it would need to be better in every way. Tesla set out to build not the best electric cars, but the best cars, and the results have proven the soundness of that strategy. When Model 3 hits its stride, it's going to be stealing sales from existing small performance sedans. One popular model that's directly in the crosshairs is the BMW 3 Series, which is famous for its excellent driving qualities. Several media outlets have contrasted the specs of the old favorite and the new upstart. X-Auto and the BMW blog have each published detailed spec-by-spec comparisons, but how do the two cars compare in the more subjective area of how they handle on the road? A good man to answer that question might be expert BMW driver Alex McCulloch, who recently had a chance to take some hot laps in a Model 3, and offered his assessment in a post on the BMW Car Club of America's website. McCulloch, who is one of those professional drivers on close course, was called for a gig driving a Model 3 for a short film promoting a very good cause. Like a pro, he offered few details about the client or the production, saying only that it was a full day of filming at multiple locations in the Colorado Rockies, including static, aerial, drive-by, and vehicle-to-vehicle shots. As most reviewers have, McCulloch found Model 3's lack of traditional controls a bit strange at first, but he adjusted quickly, and was soon putting the new Tesla through its paces. He writes, "Despite my lack of seat time in the car, it did what I asked with ease. It was communicative, composed, and surprisingly neutral, despite my not being able to figure out how to defeat the stability control." McCulloch continues, "There was only faint road noise, because, unlike our BMW X3 camera vehicle, this car consumed only ions. More accurately, it transformed them from a giant lithium-ion battery pack beneath my seat to instant rear-wheel drive torque." And speaking of torque, there was enough on tap to power a Washington, D.C. metro train. This small-rimmed leather sport steering wheel was connected to delightfully crisp and direct steering. McCulloch's love of BMWs didn't prevent him from appreciating Model 3. In fact, it sounds as if he found the driving experience to be broadly similar to that of a high-end BMW. He said, "The steering, brakes, and balance were all on par with my expectations of a sports sedan, think E46 M3. McCulloch's conclusion: this car is a game-changer. It will be relatively attainable compared to its predecessors, and it was even able to satisfy the driving bias of an old-school BMW lover like me. I really didn't want to like it, but I found little to complain about. It was an intersection of the past and the future, one where an old-school driving enthusiast like me could experience what is clearly the future, and not have to relinquish the experience that I hold dear."
The latest version of the world's best-selling electric vehicle is to be sold in New Zealand. Japanese manufacturer Nissan has announced plans to sell the Leaf EV in 7 markets in Asia and Oceania during the next fiscal year, including New Zealand and Australia. The Leaf is the world's most popular EV, with more than 300,000 of them sold globally since the first-generation model first went on sale in 2010. It is the icon of what Nissan calls intelligent mobility, which is the company's approach to changing how cars are powered, driven and integrated into society. An announcement that the new second generation will be launched in Australia, Hong Kong, Malaysia, New Zealand, Singapore, South Korea and Thailand was made at an event called Nissan Futures, a gathering in Singapore of industry leaders, government officials and media from across Asia and Oceania. Nissan's regional senior vice president Yutaka Sanada said the company is working to bring the new generation Leaf to as many markets as possible. He said, "The new Leaf is the most advanced, yet accessible 100% electric vehicle on the planet. The launch in so many markets shows our commitment to playing a leading role in electrification in this dynamic region, and to delivering the future of mobility to the region now." Arrival of the new Leaf, and it has yet to be confirmed when that will happen and what prices might be, will represent a second attempt to sell the Nissan as a new vehicle in New Zealand. Nissan NZ pulled the plug on the first-generation version in early 2016 when it failed to sell, primarily because of its high purchase price, even though it had eventually been offered for just under $40,000. However, good sales of used Leafs imported from Japan and the UK, they typically sell for around $20,000, have made the model the most popular EV in this country. The second-generation model was launched during the second half of last year, and deliveries begin in Japan in October, followed by USA and Canada in January and Europe this month. The car's new electric powertrain delivers 110 kilowatts of power and 320 Nm of torque, and a major improvement is that whereas the first-generation version had a range of up to 130 km on a single charge, the new model has a range of up to 400 km depending on the size of the battery pack. Meanwhile, the Nissan Futures event has been told that latest research has shown 1 in 3 Southeast Asian consumers planning to buy a new car are open to purchasing an electric vehicle. With the right incentives, the region can accelerate adoption of electric and electrified vehicles, the Nissan commissioned study by market intelligence firm Frost & Sullivan has shown. The study results also show that contrary to common perception, cost is not considered a deterrent to purchase of an EV. In fact, customers surveyed were willing to pay more to own an electric vehicle. However, the study also shows that lower costs would prompt more people to consider electric cars. 3/4 of respondents said they were ready to switch to electric vehicles if taxes were waived. Other incentives that would sway customers include installation of charging stations in apartment buildings, 70%, priority lanes for electric vehicles, 56%, and free parking, 53%.
Pricing and specifications for the 2018 Subaru Outback range have been announced this week, with the full-lifted crossover wagon kicking off at $36,240 before on-road costs. Although subtle, the car has been treated to a new look for 2018, led by a revised grille and bumper up front. Train spotters will notice the tweaked wing mirrors and LED indicators too. The entire range rides on new alloy wheels, 17 inches on the 2.0D, 18-inch units across the rest of the range, and there are 2 new colors available, Crimson Red Pearl and Wilderness Green Metallic. Premium variants now come with new LED high and low beam headlights, complete with adaptive high beam and steering response, allowing them to swivel as the driver turns the wheel. C-shaped LED daytime running lights carry over from the current car. Inside, the Outback benefits from a reworked center stack housing and updated infotainment system. The touchscreen, 8.0-inch for premium cars, 6.5 inches elsewhere, now packs Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, while the climate controls have been more logically arranged. Factory navigation is standard on premium models. Making the jump from base CVT trim to premium also brings electrically adjustable and front seats, an electric sunroof, power folding mirrors, keyless entry, leather trim and piano black trim inserts, along with a powder tailgate. Along with these changes, the range-topping 3.6R also gains chrome side sill garnish, silver roof rails and a 12-speaker sound system. More stitched surfaces and gloss black trim have been added to help lift the interior ambience, while Subaru says the new steering wheel has a solid, sporty look about it. Rear seat passengers now benefit from 2 additional USB ports. Subaru has been proactive with safety recently, outfitting all CVT-equipped cars with its EyeSight technology suite. For 2018, the premium variants will also include a front view monitor and Honda-style side view monitor, making it easier to see the nose and sides of the car below 20 km/h. Across the range, EyeSight has been upgraded to include lane keep assist, pre-collision braking assistance and smarter pedestrian avoidance capabilities. The stereo camera-based system has also been tuned to deliver a smoother ride while using adaptive cruise control. The changes aren't more than skin deep too. Subaru says retuned suspension will help cut down on body roll, while the electric power steering has been tweaked for more linear response at highway speeds. The brake pedal should feel firmer and more linear for the 2018 model as well. Speaking of linearity, the Lineartronic CVT paired with a 2.5-liter petrol engine benefits from a number of small updates. There are now 7 artificial steps for drivers to play with, and Subaru says the transmission should shift more smoothly from park into reverse and drive. There's no more power in the 129 kilowatts per 235 Nm 2.5-liter petrol, but a lighter crank pulley, crankshaft and connecting rods should reduce vibration under acceleration, and a broader ratio spread from the CVT helps deliver a 3% fuel efficiency bump. Meanwhile, the 3.6-liter 6-cylinder boxer petrol makes the same 191 kilowatts of power and 350 Nm of torque as before, while the diesel's 110 kilowatts per 350 Nm outputs are also unchanged. Unlike the 2.5, neither the 3.6 or diesel engines come with idle start-stop technology.